Welcome all you Taurians to your July monthly reading, where we've been focusing on the chakras starting at the beginning of the year back in January. And here we are, month number 7. So we've reached the top of the chakras, the well-known ones anyway, and that is the Crown Chakra. We've got all this beautiful amethyst, which represents the color of the Crown Chakra. And since we are zeroing in on that energy, we're going to be asking the Creator for this month's reading, how can we connect higher? So if you're new to my channel, what I do each month is I take a tarot deck and I do split out the major arcana from the 4 suits of the minor arcana. Now, all the cards I use in a reading I do list in the description box below. And the major arcana represents like the overall energy for the month that the Creator wants you to know about. So for this one, of course, we're going to be looking at specifically what energies that Spirit and Creator want you to know about regarding connecting higher. So we'll start off with that. And we, of course, will dig deep into other areas as well. So for our Taurians, what would you like them to know about the energies for the month of July regarding connecting higher, please? Okay, they do want to that one right there, actually. You do get 2. We're also going to pull a card here from the Universe's Got Your Back deck, just to see what else they would like to add for the overall energies for the month. One more time. All right, so for our Taurians, what else do you want to add to that? Okay, yeah, they do want this one right there. All right, so we will start with this card, and this beautiful large eye, which kind of reminds me of the third eye, and it is even has all this purple on here. It says, when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world that I see. So there is this trust aspect here, and trusting like the higher realm, trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly for you, that life is not happening to you, but that all these individuals, all these divine appointments that come into your life, and all these circumstances that come in are coming in on purpose, for purpose, being this mirror for you so that you can see things differently. So you start to be able to, because of all these mirrors that you're seeing from the outside, you're able to see who you really are and do some of this inner work. We'll see what else they say here. More clarity around it with these. Yeah, okay. So you do have the Strength card. We'll come back to this one. And you do have the Devil card as well. So don't freak out about this card at all, because both of these basically are what I'm talking about here. So the Devil card, or what I call the Shadow card, this is a piece of ourselves. It's like our tour guide on this human life, and the job, one of the big jobs that our shadow does for us is it brings to our face all these things. It basically allows us to see through all these mirrors that it brings into our face, so we can see the things that are making us feel, bound and restricted and small. I always think of Dr. Evil in the Austin Powers series when I get the Shadow card, the Devil card, because Dr. Evil always he would capture Austin Powers, who was the spy, the international man of mystery that was sent to stop this evil villain, Dr. Evil, from taking over the world again, because he always would try. And every time Austin Powers would get caught somehow, and Dr. Evil would have them all, bound up and tied to a chair or something, that how he was going to die. And he would spill his guts on what his plan was, what he was going to do, and then Austin Powers, of course, would escape and foil the plot. And that's kind of what the Devil does, the Shadow does, is it'll bring all these things, all these mirrors to our face. It'll show us all the stuff that's making us feel, bound and trapped and restricted and all of that. Sometimes it'll even show like a cage with no door on it and someone stuck inside. And it's like, here, this is what's making you feel trapped, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, but our shadow brings it to us so that we can do something about it, so that we can escape from these beliefs and these limitations of fear to allow us to embrace more who we truly are, which is unconditional love, which brings us to this card. Because for me, the Strength card represents, this is our human side. This is the being that is ruled by fight or flight. And then you can see here the infinity symbol on top. This represents our higher self. So this is the character we're playing on the planet, but this is the actor behind the character. And so there's this awareness that comes with this, all these mirrors about the two sides of who you really are, the two beings that you are living this human experience. Now, our lion side starts off not being aware of our higher self. So that's when we're younger and when we have our ego and, this, human avatar that we're in. And we are all ruled by all that conditioning that we have growing up, both emotionally and mentally, and all these beliefs that we take on, all the popular opinions of what things are supposed to mean and how we're supposed to feel. And the little lion is taught to look outside here in the outside world for its fulfillment, because it's hungry. It comes down here, it's hungry and it's thirsty. And it's told to look into these three areas of the human experience that is supposed to make you feel whole and complete and to make you no longer thirsty. And those three things are relationships, regardless of whatever kind they are, romantic, family, friends, work, school, feather babies, fur babies, whatever they may be. The other bucket is the bucket of situations and circumstances, like your job, like your education, like your social status, these things you can get involved in. And then the third bucket is things, our bodies, our possessions, our bank accounts. Well, our little lion goes out and eats of all those things. The more we eat, it seems like the more hungry we become. The more we drink of those things, the more thirsty we become. And so we become desperate. We become hangry, like hungry, angry. And so the lion roars in the jungle because it's so desperate. Well, even though our lion small self isn't yet aware of our higher self is always aware of our human self. So it hears us roaring. It knows that we're in some sort of emotional distress with life. And so it comes down to check on us, right? And it doesn't come down and, stab us to put us out of our misery or to cage us to keep people safe from us, or try to manipulate or change us with a whip and a chair like they do in the circuses and things like that. Because our higher self knows that what our lion is really hungry for is the unconditional love of the higher realms, of where we came from. And because our higher self is a powerful, supernatural spirit being made of unconditional love, it comes down and it gives a big hug to the lion, and it gives the love that it's been searching for. And so that hangry lion transforms, from this roaring lion in the jungle to a purring little cub sitting in the lap of our higher self, feeling full, no longer thirsty, and feeling loved and complete like it has never been before. And then it's not like Superman who comes down and rescues and then flies off away. Now that the lion is aware of the higher self and they have this bond, they walk hand in hand or hand in paw, through life together, seeing things from a whole new perspective. So you do have this awareness coming in during this month of the things that are making you feel small and conflicted, and you're realizing that that's the human experience, but you're so much more than the human experience. So that's what's allowing you to connect to the higher realm here. We will, of course, dig in for more information here. We're going to go into the 4 minor arcana, which represent 4 different areas of the human experience. We will start off with the fire element, which is the wand suit. This normally represents like your drive, your ambition, your inspiration, your passion. Also represents your energy. And it can also represent your spiritual energy. So for this reading, this is going to represent what the Creator wants all of you Taurians to know about your spiritual adventure during the month of July in regards to connecting higher. So for our Taurians, what else would you like them to know, please? Okay, I do want to that one right there. We'll also pull a card here from the Return of Spirit deck for more information on your spiritual adventure. Okay, what else? Oh, okay. You do have 2 for there. So we'll start off with the tarot card, which you have the King of Wands. And I laugh because, Wands is your spiritual energy. The King is the highest you can get in the suit, which would be the highest spiritual energy you can achieve, which would be your higher self. So you definitely are connecting with your powerful self, understanding more of who you are, connecting to that higher, powerful spiritual being that you are. So just very succinct there. Then you have Commitment. Beautiful card there. So put that right there. And then you also have Right. Another beautiful card there. So we'll put those there. And I love how Cheryl Lee Harnish, who's the author of these cards, what she says about these cards. So we'll read from the little book on these. And so the commitment is you're being asked to make some sort of a commitment. It's both a promise and a responsibility. So this could be in connection with a relationship, such as moving in together, deciding to get married, or having a child. I kind of feel like this commitment is committing to get to know yourself, getting to know your higher self. So that commitment to a connection in a relationship, I feel it has to do with that. This can also point to other types of commitments, such as starting a new business, planning a vacation with friends, signing up for classes, or taking any type of long-term project. But this commitment is a binding one, and you'll not be able to get out of it easily should you change your mind later. And I kind of like that with, once you decide to open up, it's like, the Matrix. Once you take the red pill, there's no turning back. It's like once you realize that you're so much more than this human experience, you just can't unknow that anymore. So this is signified here. There's like this bow that's being here, this tied commitment together. So you have this tie that's happening between yourself and your higher self. But this commitment does hold soul lessons and was planned before you came here. So this doesn't mean that it's either good or bad, but simply means that it is a fated event. You and the others involved in this situation are fulfilling your soul agreements with each other. So I also feel like those are these mirrors that are coming into your life. They're coming on purpose, for purpose. Like we talked about divine appointments of individuals that are coming into your life, and they're impacting you in a spiritual way and helping you connect to the higher planes. Could be by showing you the very contrasting opposite. This can also be a calling to make a serious commitment to yourself, whether it is to lose weight, quit smoking, start a yoga class, or go for some healing sessions. You may also need to reassess any previous commitments you've made to discern whether they are still right for you. It would also be wise to look closely at the commitments others have made to you and assess whether they are fulfilling their promise. Might be a time to release them from their commitment. You may be wavering in your decision about a certain commitment, but lean towards the idea that this might actually be the right thing for you to do. Spirit usually replies to things which are most important to us at the moment. So this card can act as a validation that you are headed in the right direction. Yeah, with connecting to your higher self, it's such a huge piece there. We'll also read the Right, W-R-I-T-E. It is the right direction to go, though, right? So there's an expression in English about words being printed in black and white. And by drawing this card, Spirit is affirming to you that you need to get your words written down on paper. Is there something you've been thinking about writing? It could be poetry, a children's book, a song, a letter, a website, a channeled message, a book, or even a speech. Whatever it may be, the energy of putting your thoughts, ideas, and information into a tangible form of manifestation is here. Do not put it off any longer. If you are having doubts, that's fine. Just acknowledge them and take the action anyway. It's important you do, as this is going to lead to something more. Your creative force and expression is powerful, probably more powerful than you're aware of. What you have to say, share, and bring forward to others can be very influential and appreciated. Trust yourself and the words that come to you. Be mindful not to judge whether your writing seems good enough. You just need to allow yourself to start. If you've already begun the writing process, then it is important for you to receive this encouragement from your guides and angels as you continue toward completion. You can do this. Your words are needed. You're doing great. Trust what is coming through you. Trust that you were made to do this. Just keep going. Not everyone is born with the gift or purpose to write, but you were. So now is your time to shine in doing this. And the right card can also indicate a need to begin journaling. This could be in the form of a diary. However, it could also be that you need to start recording the ideas, the thoughts, and teachings that you're receiving. There's pertinent information in your written words. And I kind of felt like that in the beginning. I'm glad they add that on the end, because I kind of feel like this commitment to yourself and journaling about your unfolding of this relationship is important for you to be able to reflect back on, but also this is a general reading for some of you. It is going to be the reference materials that you're able to move into some sort of blog or a book or something where you're able to help others by sharing your story. So I love that. Now, where this is your inner energy, and we're going to go into talking about your thoughts and your emotions, that's all inner stuff. The next suit we move into is the earth element of pentacles, sometimes also called coins in some decks. And it is all about the outside world. So all those other characters on stage with you, all the props on stage, like your body, your possessions, your bank account, just everything going on in the physical world. So this is what the creator wants you to know about your physical adventure during the month of July regarding to connecting higher. So for our Taurians, and this of course is your energy, you're an earth element. So this is all about your element. We'll also pull a card here from the angels and ancestors cards. See what they'd like to add to your physical experience here. All right, so what else for our Taurians, please? Nope, they don't want that. Okay, that's the one right there. All right, we'll start off with the tarot card here. Yeah, you have the Two of Pentacles. So the two of you, this whole two-ness, your lower human self and your higher spiritual self. You can even see the infinity symbol represented here. So this is about bringing your awareness of your two sides of yourself into the physical realm. There's so many cards here that are pointing me back to this U times 2 series. It's a free YouTube series called U times 2, which Spirit had me start at the beginning of this year. And I'll have the playlist linked in the description box below, and I'll throw like a link to the playlist at the end of this video too, if you want to check it out, because it is all about getting to know the two of you that are living this human experience here. So they're nudging me to guide you to that. So if you feel so inspired, you can check that out. Yeah, drop your shields. The protection guardian. So you do have this feeling of safety coming in here, which, yeah, that makes total sense, that as you face your fears, it's like, oh, the devil, your shadow, and you realize, oh, it's just Dr. Evil, it's harmless. He's that bald guy with the scar that does the little pinky on his side of his mouth, and definitely diffuses the fear around, I'm fearing that. No, this is a part of me. Getting to know the two sides of you allow you to feel this protection here. Let's see what else this guardian has to say to you, though. So it says, drop any shields of shame, resistance, and fear that are standing between you and your chances of enjoyment and fun. Know that you don't need to hide who you are or the gifts that you have. You were born to shine. The protection guardian is a feminine version of the Archangel Michael. She's fierce, protective, yet loving, and she's a warrior angel who carries an indestructible shield of power and protection and will come to all who call on her. She will help you drop your fear-based shields and move into a loving, protective force field that will keep you safe but will allow your gifts to shine out. Although she is here to guard you from the lower energies, right? She is completely relaxed, serene, and confident because she trusts that love will always prevail. You may have encountered shame or embarrassment in your past, but that is not your present. Angels are drawing close at this time to help you move beyond any limiting thoughts, emotions, and patterns that may be making you feel unsafe. Know that angelic protection is swirling around you at this moment and will help you move forward in a more fearless way. Call on your guides for help in changing your frequency so you can feel safe and protected at this time. You are stronger than you think, and your angels and ancestor guides are here to help you realize this now. Stronger. Strength card. So I love that message here. They definitely, like your higher self angels, they're here to come down to help protect you, to show you your true inner strength of who you really are, and that does roll out into your physical world. And then we're going to move into the air element, which is the sword suit. So this is your mind. It's your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. So this will be all about your mental adventure during the month of July in regards to connecting higher. So for our Taurians, what do you want them to know about their mental adventure, please? Okay, it's the one right there. We're also going to pull from the numerology guidance cards for additional mental messages. All right, so what else for our Taurians, please? Okay. So we'll start off with the tarot card, which you have the Ace of Swords. So perfect. Ace of Swords is a gift. You know, this beautiful Ace of Swords does two things. One, it allows you to connect to the higher truths, the capital T truths of unconditional love of the spiritual realm. So those truths that are, you know, totally opposite of the fear, because the other thing that it does, it allows you to slice away and cut away those small T truths that are no longer serving you. Now, they did serve you for a time. They allowed you to feel this fear. They allowed you to fear the opposites and have this human experience. Because in experiencing the shadow, we more fully understand the light. Because when you're always around light all the time, you don't get to experience the depths, the height, and the breadth of what light is until you put its opposite right next to it. And then you have the clarity, you understand who you are, and by experiencing who you're not. So you are ready to let go of these small T truths that have limited you and made you feel small before. And then you also have spiritual career. Yep. Makes sense here. So put that there, and then I'm going to read from the book on this one. Of course, it apparently, is obvious. This is about opening up your mind to allowing spirituality to come into whatever career that you're in. It doesn't necessarily need to be a spiritual career. But this card does indicate an opportunity to embark upon a career in the mind, body, spirit arena. So this could be a full-time or a part-time venture. It's entirely up to you. You may already have the credentials to begin this work now, or you may require further study before you feel ready to start. whatever your situation, this card is confirmation that you have genuine talents and abilities that can be put to good use. You may decide to work as a clairvoyant, a life coach, a homeopath, or healer and see clients from your home, or try your hand at being a card reader, a numerologist, or astrologer at your local mind, body, spirit fair. You may choose to be a writer of inspirational books or blogs, or conduct workshops in the community. Regardless of what you do and however big or small the scheme, you can turn it into a career with the potential for success. Only you can know when the time is right, but no matter what, you must believe you will succeed. Remove the limiting beliefs that are preventing you from moving forward. And that's what this talked about too, right? Release your anxieties and your fears and trust in the divine. When you focus on being of service rather than your worries, doubts, and fears, the universe will send you opportunities to serve. So, it's this change of mindset that's coming in here. And that, of course, unfolds and as you really focus on connecting and becoming aware of the two of you that are living this human experience. It really brings clarity around your dream and what you're wanting to do, because as our little lion, it is told all those small t truths that we're told that make us feel bound and restricted. You're told when you're younger who you're supposed to be. This is what your dream is. And so you wake up every day going, oh crap, I got to go live my dream again. And when that happens, that's not your dream. That's a dream that someone gave to you. But the more you connect and realize who you really are here, you understand the gifts that you have, and you discover the joyful way that you want to uniquely share that unconditional love energy within you with the world. So I love how this is progressing for you. And then we move into the final suit, which is the water element and the suit of cups. This represents our emotions. So of course, this will be whatever emotional adventure the creator wants us to know about for the month of July as we move into connecting higher. So there we go. So for our Taurians, what do you want them to know about their emotional adventure? Okay, they do want that one there. Then we'll also pull a card here from the Elemental Oracle. And since this is the last Oracle card I'm going to pull for this reading, it can still be about the emotional experience, but we're also going to allow it to be a wild card and be whatever else the creator wants you to know about your month of July. All right, so what's your final Oracle message for Taurus for this reading? Okay. All right, so we've got the Eight of Cups. Yes. So the Eight of Cups, eights are about moving to a new level. And you can even see here that this person's walking away from these emotions that no longer fulfill them. They've done what they've needed to do, and now you're willing to walk away, and you're headed towards a new adventure here into higher emotions. Because the Nine of Cups that comes after this is about finding emotional fulfillment from within. And that's basically what you're discovering here as you're connecting to this higher person that you are, your higher self. And like we said, that little lion gets full, it feels loved, no longer hungry, no longer thirsty, because it's getting the love that it's been searching for, but from inside, not from the outside. And your your final oracle card is life, breathe, or breath. Yep, 27 is the card here. And let me read from this one for you. Yes, focus on your breath. Allow it to guide your actions and flow. Fear often means breath holding. So let all that go. When we're in fear, what we do, we get shallow. Our breath gets shallow. So that's one way to know when you're in fear. And there is a place for slowing down your breath and being mindful of it. So take a deep breath and rethink your strategy. Rethink what you're wanting to do, right? Take a deep breath and pause a few seconds before exhaling, which will train you to give yourself that little bit more time and space. Simply, breath can be seen as an inhalation or exhalation from the lungs. It is the process of passing air into our lungs for respiration. However, the pace of the breath and the quality can demonstrably change your state, your mood, and even peak physical functionality. If you're not breathing deeply enough, it affects the function of your muscles, including your heart, your capacity to take in enough oxygen to feed your organs and brain, and of course, your sleep patterns. Snoring interferes with breathing. Certain physical and spiritual pathways, such as yoga and meditation, have always had a potent effect on the power of the breath. Breathing through the nose, using the diaphragm, and allowing your body's muscles to relax enough to get a full breath are just a few ways you can receive the power of having more oxygen in your body. Keep your chest open in an upright posture. Also allows your lungs to better do their work. And it's funny, it's talking about the emotion of fear or feeling stress often sends hormones rushing into the body that speed up breathing, or shock will cause you to hold your breath in the form of rapid inhalation. If you realize this is a behavior you regularly do, try to be mindful and relax. Stop and take a deeper and slower mindful breath, which will give you more action and more flow. That element is actually air as well. So these are very well connected here in realizing that when you're in fear, coming out of fear is the first thing that you're going to have to do to make sense of things. Because when we go into fight or flight mode, like it talked about releasing hormones, we get this little prick in our heart that ignites the fear. And sometimes it's emotional fear, but we go into fight or flight mode. The blood rushes from our brain to go to our arms and our legs to fight or to run. And we literally go out of our minds. We're not making logical, emotionally mature responses. We are animalistically reacting like the lion, pounce or run, And so deep breathing and coming to a place of calm allows our mind to come back out of that, no thinking or reaction mode. And so it allows you to do things and to progress more. So I love that. Then your final messages are going to be from the Starseeds deck here. This is just going to be what the final messages the Creator has for all of you Taurians for the month of July. So what's your final messages here for this reading today for our Taurians? Okay. I do want that one and that one. Whoop, and those two. Okay. And we'll read this one first since it made itself known. And you got free spirit. Hallelujah, right? To be a free spirit is to float without walls, to fly without judgment, and to love without conditions. So I really feel that this one goes here because that is, you're freeing your spirit. You're allowing your spirit, one, you're allowing the lion to get out of the cage, right? And you're escaping from the clutches of the shadow. So I love that. And then let's read this one. You've got your inner worlds. That is, your external world is a reflection of your inner world. So yes, definitely, I love this for the earth piece here, because this is showing you that you don't see the world as it is, you see the world as you are. So when you're in fear, you see all sorts of fearful things in the outside world. But when you connect to the love, you see the world as a more loving thing as well. And then you got the blue star. And that one says, follow the light of your inner compass, the blue star. It will lead you to the truth that resides within your soul. So yeah, more of this connection. Definitely all of this is reiterating that message, is connecting on the inside, connecting to who you really are. Yeah, and your final message is celebration. That says, celebrate your achievements. You truly are a gift to the universe. So definitely focusing on what you're bringing and who you are rather than who you're not, and these gifts that you can bring forward too. The celebration reminds me of the Three of Cups in the minor arcana. It's usually like 3 people that are cheering, and it's like this celebration, this joyful card. And it has a special meaning, which they wanted me to mention, because this is reminiscent of our spiritual posse of support on the other side. We've got the creator, we have spirit. We also have our guardian angel and other angels, our spirit guides, our loved ones who've already gone to the other side, our ancestors, and just a whole slew of other beings of unconditional love and light who are always around us to support us. And as we connect to our higher self, that is what opens our connection and awareness to all of them, because as we raise our frequency from one of fear and chaos to one of unconditional love and peace and joy and laughter, that raises our frequency to where spirit communicates. And now spirit can always hear from us, but for us to hear and see things more clearly when we raise our vibration and frequency up there, we're able to hear more. And so that's them letting them know, the more you do this, just be looking out for messages coming from the outside world through synchronicities, things just dropping into your brain, emotional messages coming in. You're going to be getting a lot of communication from them as you connect higher and higher. And it all starts with this awareness of the 2 of you that are living this human experience. So I love these messages for you. If you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these monthly readings for each zodiac sign, I also put out weekly energy updates for each zodiac sign and a few other types of videos throughout the month like that. U times 2, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So if you don't want to miss any of those videos as they come out and get notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up, click the like button, also click the subscribe button, and that gives you access to the notification bell. And when you go in there, if you check off the all option, then you'll be notified of any new videos that come out on this channel. And also doing those things helps spread the love, and it helps my channel grow in a significant way, because when you like a video, you share a video, you comment on a video, especially if you subscribe to the channel, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so giddy it wants to share the videos of this channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of that, I am definitely grateful for it. Also, these are general readings, and if you're looking for even more specific information and answers for your specific life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is listed in the description box below. Right, beautiful Taurians, as you go through this amazing month, please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and of course, I love you too. Have an amazing month, but I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And in the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.